cobra, and I was finally ready to release the venom that had slowly, silently built up within me since my political awakening many years before. The man drowsing beside me was a major player in the espionage game, a police chief whose jack-booted cronies had committed crimes ranging from murder and intimidation to election rigging and sabotage. He was a trained and experienced spy, and now he was here to tamper with the UN-mandated independence process in Namibia, then one of the most fraught countries in the world. What he didn't know was that I was a spy too, working on the other side for South Africa's freedom-fighting opposition and Nelson Mandela's African National Congress, ANC. I seduced the chief and let him think I was just a silly blonde floozy, his harmless bit on the side. He stepped into my trap, and now it was within my power to decide if this would be the last mistake he would ever make. The year was 1989, and Namibia was a tinderbox. The country was in the throes of revolution, and its birth as a nation was proving difficult. The UN and the wider world had its eyes trained on Africa's western coast. A UN resolution mandated the independence process, but free and democratic nations aren't so easily conceived. Already too much blood had been spilled. The nationalist government of South Africa was stretched thin to begin with, barely upholding the system of apartheid that sustained it. And now the UN wanted it to give up Namibia as well, even if that meant prizing it from the apartheid state's death grip. The rulers of my country were like cornered animals, besieged on all fronts and all the more dangerous for it. They weren't going to just hand over Namibia, no matter what the foreign meddlers at the UN said. Agents of the apartheid government were everywhere, crawling through the desert and using every dirty trick they had to frustrate the independence process. I was in bed with one of those agents. I traced his eyebrows with my finger and moved to the spot above his nose, right between his eyes. I drew a small circle with my fingertip. For the bullet, I thought. A nice, neat hole. No mess. The exit wound would be different, of course. Blood could get so sticky in this damn heat. Half asleep, he shifted towards the bedside table where he had left his lighter and his cigarettes and his gun, which he always kept loaded. "Penny for your thoughts, Mrs. Kidd?" He lit up and sucked in a mouthful of smoke before exhaling luxuriously and sighing in that typically male, self-satisfied way. He always got like this after sex. It made him slow, languid. It made him stupid too, and vulnerable, just how I liked him. "I'm just thinking about work," I said. This seemed to satisfy him. But really, I was thinking, haven't so many people died already that one more body wouldn't hurt? If anything, the chief's death would be payback for all the blood spilled in his name. The chief blew circles of smoke into the clammy room. The ceiling fan shuddered above us, pushing heavy air from one side to the other. A fly, befuddled by the heat, crawled up the burglar bars that blocked the open window. I stretched out in the bed and listened to the sound of his heavy, smoky exhalations. I counted the breaths, and I fantasized about stepping into the shower in just a few hours' time to wash every trace of this man off me, blood and all, if it came to it. He started talking, as he often did, about his police work. He was unguarded and voluble in my presence, sharing stories he really should have kept to himself about his operations and the mischief he had got up to. I tried to absorb as much of his chatter as I could, in case there was anything worth reporting back, but I was weary of his moods. They could shift in an instant. In the corner of my eye, I saw a wink of gunmetal in the setting sun. After a while, the chief